Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Vinyl Friday, where I go through my records and talk about why I love them. It's October, folks! And what better way to kick off the spooky month than by paying our respects to the campiest, glam rockiest, horror spoof musical of them all, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This guy's copied my makeup.
At the late night double feature.
Damn it, Janet, I love you.
Into my life. Let's do the time again.
How'd you do, I? See, you've met mine. I can make you a man.
Touch me. I wanna be
Into some.
I feel sexy. It's beyond me.
Blue skies through the tears.
double feature picture show.
Here's how it started. It's the early 1970s, and a quasi-New Zealander named Richard O'Brien, he was born elsewhere, but we do claim him. There is an honest-to-goodness public monument of him in Hamilton. He's living in London, and he is theoretically an actor, but he has unfortunately found himself without a job. Mostly in order to keep himself occupied, he draws on his love of crappy horror films and early rock and roll and the blossoming glam movement, and he builds a musical. He gives it the working title, They Came from Denton High. It's not a very good working title. But the story follows this young couple who are stranded after their car breaks down.
Damn it! I knew I should have gotten that spare tire fixed.
They find their way to a castle, and they're about to ask if they can use their phone when they discover that there's some sort of strange celebration going on. The castle is populated by a motley cast of characters, and absurd bawdy shenanigans ensue for the next approximately 2 hours. What more could you want? It's picked up for stage production, and its name is changed to The Rocky Horror Picture Show. It premieres in a 60-seat theatre in Chelsea, London's Chelsea, not New York's Chelsea. This is in June of 1973. It graduates to a larger 230-seat theatre in August of that same year. By November, the show has found residency in the 500-seat Kings Road Theatre, where it stays for about 6 years. Debuts in the US in 1974, Broadway debut happens in 1975. Meanwhile, Richard O'Brien, remember him, and the director who did the original stage show, an Australian man named Jim Sharman, Oceania represent, are hard at work on a screenplay for a film adaptation. Whoa, we're going places. Unfortunately, we're not going very far because the film was a massive flop. It was a resounding failure. It was universally despised by critics. Fortunately, one of the executives, the suits, at the distribution house decided that maybe it could follow in the tradition of like Pink Flamingos and Reefer Madness and benefit from some midnight screenings. And he was right, because as soon as they started doing this, a cult following began to amass. Audience members took to shouting retorts at the characters on the screen, like this.
I'm coming with you. Besides, darling, the owner of that phone might be a beautiful woman and you might never come back again.
Regional variations on this audience counter-script solidified, and it's now the longest-running theatrical release of all time, 50 years strong. It's just never really left the theaters. The film excels at melting the boundaries of time. It simultaneously calls back to B-grade horror and sci-fi films, and sits firmly within the realm of 1970s glam, and draws on retro-futuristic imagery and costume and set design. Past, present, future. And I'm sure there are a zillion and one film YouTubers out there who have combed through this film and pointed out all the parallels between this and all of those B-grade horror films, counted up the Easter eggs, but that's not what this video seeks to do. I'm of the opinion that the music of Rocky Horror blends past, present, and future just as well as, if not better than, the cinematography. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to focus on time warp.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting.
Ah, this is a great song. I'm so excited about this. Right. This song is built perfectly to purpose, and then it does exactly what it says on the tin. It warps time. I'll show you what I mean. Let's start with the past. Now listen closely. Time Warp is a track that is littered with references to early rock and roll music. It begins like this. Pure Chuck Berry. Let's have a quick listen to Sweet Little 16, and you'll see that that is the guitar riff that they are emulating.
They're really rocking in Boston and Pittsburgh, PA.
It may have been a little bit difficult to hear on account of Chuck Berry singing over it. So we'll get the guitar correspondent to play along with this so you can see what's happening.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll.
Many thanks to the guitar correspondent. Our vocals come in.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting.
Bam! We're borrowing from the early 1960s and their novelty horror songs like Monster Mash.
He did the monster mash.
And the lesser known Screamin' Ball at Dracula Hall.
Last night at Dracula Hall.
There are actually a whole lot of them. Those are just my favorites. The piano clatters into the song with a screeching glissando. This is a glissando. I mean, that's Jerry Lee Lewis right there. The bass is walking. Bass correspondent, can you play that for us, please? That's pretty standard practice for early rock and roll. It's a holdover from the jazz and blues that it was descended from. You can hear it pretty clearly on Little Richard's Tutti Frutti, for example. As we arrive at our chorus, we are given a set of instructions. In case you're unfamiliar, it's just a jump to the left. Put your hands on your hips. Pull your knees in tight. But it's the pelvic thrust. This follows in the tradition of a number of dance craze songs that happened in the early 1960s. Songs like The Locomotion, where the singer will give you the instructions to the dance itself in the chorus, so that you can, have some sort of collective human experience with other listeners. Jump back. There was a biblical level infestation of twist-related songs somewhere in the early 60s, I believe.
Get ready, I'm gonna twist with you. Round and around and up and down we go.
The mama don't want no twisting around this house.
No. The name of the dance is the peppermint twist. A cat who was really hep put down a step, a new gyration.
Just all over the charts for a little while there. In fact, Brad's character in the movie points to this specifically when he says,
Say, do one of you guys know how to Madison?
there's a very squeaky bridge, and it follows the chordal structure of a rock and roll song to the letter. As one of an abundance of examples, that's the same chord structure as at the hop. Right, that's the past. Now let's talk about the present. Not our present, but the present of 1975's audiences. Their present. Let's go back to the guitars. So cool. So cool. That guitar may be riffing on Chuck Berry, but that level of distortion is very much a product of the 1970s. Furthermore, The drums are not swung. You often find that in early rock and roll, the drum part is not played straight, it has a slight swing to it. We'll get the drum correspondent to demonstrate what I mean by that. You see? Bit of a swing. The drums on this track are completely straight.
It's so dreamy. Oh, fantasy free me.
Totally straight. Bam, 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 instead of ba 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 ba. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you need me to explain anything further, I guess. Apart from the bridge, the chords in this song do not follow the convention of early rock and roll music, which, as we've covered, was descended from the blues. What's up, kids? A typical rock and roll song might sound like this. Lie. Lie. Back to the beginning. This song doesn't do that. It goes. It's all in the wrong order. That's not what we do in rock and roll, but it is what Richard O'Brien does in rock and roll, and it works, so I'm not here to argue about it. The vocals at the chorus are doing this kind of faux operatic thing. That was also really in vogue in the mid-70s. Like, you can hear an example of that in Bang a Gong by T-Rex. Or, hell, even Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me. And lastly, the lyrics are very sexually explicit. Granted, the depiction of those pelvic thrusts is in no way sexual in the movie, but I mean, there's always like this line.
Oh, fantasy free me.
You know, explicitly sexual. That's not to say that early rock and roll wasn't sexual. It was. It just leaned really heavily on double entendre. Like, take this line from Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
I'm like a one-eyed cat peeping in a seafood store.
Whoa, Bill Haley. Whoa. And as for the future, those elements are a little bit less obvious. It's more in the imagery that's used in the lyrics. There are references to time travel.
With a bit of a mind flip.
You're into the time slip.
It has that sci-fi element, peering through other dimensions.
In another dimension. With voyeuristic intention.
That sort of thing. And then when the song finishes, there's this weird warped finish that has sort of a modern polish on it. No, not modern. Futuristic. I love that. What a great way to finish a track, right? So there you have it. The song is at once a relic and perfectly suited to the tastes of the contemporary listener and slightly unfamiliar. O'Brien has immaculately designed this song to confuse the listener's concept of the historical, the contemporary, and the speculative. Perfection. Happy Spooktober, dear listeners. Try not to get too spaced out on sensation. That's it for me. If you enjoyed this episode or you would like to support any of the weird things I do, I'll leave a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page where you are most welcome to make a donation if you wish. But no pressure, my friends. I understand times are hard. A huge thank you to everybody who has made a donation or signed up as a member. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're curious about what any of my original music sounds like, I will leave a link in the description to that as well. There will be more coming out in due course, but like soon due course, because my band has just finished recording our next album. So there will be more on that playlist quite soon. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you here next week for some more Beatles, some more White Album. Have a great weekend. Hello, how's it going?
You doing it? rock star lady.
I'm sure this isn't what you were expecting, huh?
What's this for?
This is for Rocky Horror.
Huh?
Hey.
You look great.
What's up?